Guys, welcome back. Okay, so in this video I will be showing you a recipe I have been using for quite some time now and hasn't disappointed me yet. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first step is to weigh down everything you would need before you start making the soap. Normally I would use beef tallow, but I don't have that at the moment, so I've been using pork tallow, which doesn't really make a difference. I will put the recipe in the description if you would like to recreate the recipe and try it yourself. Okay, so the next thing you need to weigh is your lye, and you need to be careful because it is a chemical, and if you're doing it on a wooden table like I am, it can damage your table if it gets a little wet, so be careful. Then, using a measuring jug, I weigh some water, which I will be mixing into the lye just now. So when you are mixing the soda and the water together, you always, and I cannot stress enough about this, you always mix the soda into the water, little at a time, because if you don't, it can cause a reaction and become like a volcano. It has happened once when I first started making soap, but I would not recommend pouring the water into the soda. Please pour the soda into the water if you don't want to mess up your table and your stove. Okay, so then I put the tallow into the slow cooker and I turn on high, because I want it to melt as soon as possible, because I don't really have any patience, so the quicker the better. But as soon as it is melted, I am pouring into lye mixture, which is the water and the soda, and I will be doing that very carefully, because if you spill some of that mixture on your table, it will ruin your table. And then you will have an angry lady behind you standing there. What did you do to my table? So be careful while you put that in, and don't spill, because your table will be ruined. Okay, after it has been standing for a few minutes, you take your stick blender and you just mix it up a little bit. I'm using a hand mixer. Well, you can see what I'm using every once in a while, so the stick blender doesn't get hot as quickly. So every now and then I use the hand one, so I can give the blender a little time to rest. Okay, so after you've blended a while, it is getting jelly-like, then you know it's ready. That line you see when I move the blender over it, that is when you know you're at trace, so then you know you're ready. And then I put the lid on and I let it cook for about an hour, and every once in a while, like every 5 to 10 minutes, I just stir it again so it doesn't go volcano on me. It almost did happen. But luckily it didn't, because then I would have so much stuff to clean. As you can see, there's my little volcano soapy. If it does happen, you just mix it a bit and then it goes back down again. So if you catch it early enough, it should be fine. As you can see, it does get to look a little funny as the time goes by, but don't worry, it's still gonna be soft enough for you to put in your mold. When it is cold enough, so after a few minutes, you can push it down with a spoon or fingers and maybe make some holes if you'd like. You can do anything you want with your soap as long as it looks good to you. So I put my soap on the rocks outside for an hour or two to rest, and then the next day I took it out of the mold and I started to cut. I have this soap knife that makes little wrinkles in your soap when you cut it. It looks quite pretty when you cut. But if you don't have one, you can use a normal kitchen knife or anything really. Just don't use a butter knife because that really won't work. Okay, so when you are done cutting the soap, you transfer it to a towel to dry for like a day or two. When you're making a hot process, you can wait a week, but you can use it 2 days after you've made it. That's the great thing about making hot process. When you're making cold process, it takes a while. You have to wait at least 4 to 6 weeks before you can use, and then maybe another week just to make sure. And then you're done. And this is how my soap looks. Doesn't it just look so pretty? Well, I think it looks amazing and I almost want to eat it. I will see you in the next video.